Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back if you're new here. My name is Varvana. I usually stream on Twitch, not really, not anymore. But today we're back with Hakuoki. I'm trying to clean out my memories of of Hashihime. So we're playing Hakuoki. But yeah, I'll try to update more regularly again, but you know, no promises. Anyways, without further ado, let's just continue, okay? I kind of forgot where we left off, but it's fine. I did my best to look for my father while we were on patrol, but try as I might, I couldn't find even a hint of his whereabouts. September 1864. Saito and his men had this particular shift, so I joined them. The heat in the city was almost unbearable, as if we were inside an oven. There was a group of people sitting listlessly at the side of the road. I stopped. They probably lost their homes in the fire. Saito? He turned and looked at me placidly. Oh no, nothing like that. I'm just hoping to talk to those people. Would that be okay? They might know something about my father. He frowned just slightly. Is that not okay?
Yeah, come on. ただあまり時間は割いてやれ。それでもよければ聞いてこい。
ありがとう。I jogged over towards a small crowd of people who looked up as I approached. Excuse me, I'm looking for someone. He's bald and... I talked to several different people, but none of them know anything about my father. Was he still living in Kyoto? Could he have gotten involved in Hamaguri rebellion and lost his life? That was impossible. He had to be alive. I wiped sweat from my face and desperately tried to convince myself that it was all true. Saito was walking in front of me when he suddenly turned around and spoke.
大丈夫か。随分暑そうだが。
So sweet. Oh, Quintana. I mean, 大丈夫. I didn't want him to worry, so I smiled brightly.
具合が悪くなったらすぐに言え。無理をして倒れられても困る。
はい。もちろん、ありがとう。I know the only reason he was being so attentive was because Hichikata gave him orders to take care of me, but it was still nice that he was making sure I was okay. What about you? Aren't you hot? You're wearing black and you got a jacket on.
暑さ自体は耐えられぬほどではない。ただ。
Is what? He frowned almost imperceptibly and laid a hand on his sword.
今日の夏は湿気が多く、気を抜くと刀が錆びてしまう。
Oh wow.
それだけが心配だ。早く秋になってくれぬものか。
He was more worried about his sword than himself. Must really be important to you.
物神を守る爪だからな。
Kake. Look at him smile, so cutie. As he spoke, Saito pulled up a short and turned to look at the building in front of which we stood. It appeared to be a sword shop. He was staring at the sword on display, his gaze almost hungry. It was like watching a child just discover a new toy he couldn't resist. Saito? He twitched a little in surprise and looked at me.
ああ、すまない。今は巡察中だったな。急いで屯所に戻らねば。
He composed himself and walked back towards the rest of his men. He's looking really excited. Was that a nice sword? Cutie! He drew himself up a little as he began to speak.
備前長船兼光。刀といえば備前刀。備前刀といえば長船という言葉もあるほど、備前には優秀な刀工が多い。今日、現存する刀は備前刀が一番多いと言われていて。
And he excited about this topic. Oh. So interesting. He continued to talk about swords for some time. To be honest, I never saw him so talkative before. It seemed a little strange that sword brought him out of his shell, but it was nice.
どうかしたか。笑われるようなことを言ったつもりはないが。もしや、今の講釈に誤りでもあったか。
Yeah. Oh, no, not at all.
では何故笑っていたのだ。
I think I understand. You really like swords. I was just thinking that you really like swords. Saito was quiet for a moment before he answered.
刀剣そのものは もちろんのこと、そこに込められた意味に引きつけられるのだ。
What meaning is that? He nods
刀
solemnly.
の使い道は相手の命を奪うこと、太平の世となり、武士の腰に刺す刀はただの飾りとなってしまったが。
Well, I think we picked the wrong choice, but it's fine. We'll just blow through it. If we didn't get anybody's ending, too bad.
本来の使い道は人を切り殺すこと、その単純にして明快なあり方に心惹かれるのだ。そして俺も刀のようにありたいと思っている。
Oh.
何の迷いも抱かず、使い手の意のままに動く刀のように。
His voice was almost reverent.
さて、急いで屯所に戻らねばな。思った以上に時間がかかってしまった。
I'm so tempted to like put his hair behind his ear. Like, aren't you like hot? Like, can you see? I said that as I have a hair dangling from my face as well. You're right. I nodded, but Saito suddenly stopped. I looked over and his face seemed straight.
今、俺が刀に見とれて時間を無駄にしたことは、
大丈夫。
そう。
I will keep it secret. Don't worry. I'll tell Hachikata what happened. You seem to realize.
そうか。俺もまだまだ未熟だな。タイムよりも己の興味を優先させてしまうとは。
He's so cute. He hunched his shoulder and walked more quickly. Watching him made me think how he looked when we stopped in front of the shop earlier. Been so excited, it's almost like a child. It made me smile.
どうした？何を笑っている？
Kawaii ne? Oh, nothing. Nothing important. Just remember something.
何を思い出していたのかは聞かずともわかる。大方俺が店先の刀に見入ってしまい。
No, I wasn't laughing at you.
弁解などいらん。先ほどの所業はあんたに笑われても仕方あるまい。これでも反省はしている。同じ過ちは二度と繰り返さん。
Daijoubu. It's cute. He looked away from me with an attitude that could only be described as sulking. It wasn't that I meant to mock him. It had been something but his childlike glee that was amusing and cute in a way. But no doubt telling that would only upset him more.
急ぐぞ。副長が屯所で我々の報告を待っているはずだ。
Hey. Alright. Sato was quite a taciturn man, which many people interpreted as show of coolness. But when swords were the subject of conversation, he lit up. And he pouted when I mentioned this. It was a sight we might never guessed at, and something about seeing it cheered me up. That's it, guys. We're going Saito. We're gonna go all out for Saito. Wow, chapter 3. The Evil Man. Okay. The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February 1865. I finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea is ready.
おお、すまないね、雪村くん。
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
やっぱり寒い日には厚めのお茶がうまいね。
Thank you. I feel a flush of pride at his words, even though I know quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present.
八木さんたちにも世話になったが、この豚書もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえになりながら寝てやがるぜ。あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選組を受け入れてくれる場所なんてないでしょ。
11.
僕たち今日の嫌われ者だしね。
A person sitting beside Kondo, pointing at the map spread upon the table.
西本願寺というのはどうかしら。
The fuck is this guy?
西本願寺ですと？先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが。
でも 数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて他にないでしょ。それにあの場所ならいざという時も動きやすいと思うのだけど。
This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke only a few months ago as the Shinsegumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and is known for his scholarliness.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますわ。我々が西本願寺に移れば浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
Undo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose.
僧侶の動きを武力で押さえつけるのはいかがなものかと思いますが。
Silence. Ito's brow twitched as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanan directly.
自社を隠れ蓑にして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州浪士の方ではなくて、今日の治安を乱す不逞浪士に配慮して差し上げるなんて、三男さんもお優しいこと。
Don't disturb him. Ito's deflection of Sanan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanan.
尊上過激派を抑える必要があるという点に関しては同意しますが。
じゃあなんだ？
Ooh.
切り合うときは「やあやあ我こそは」って名乗りを上げて正々堂々とやるべきだとでも言うつもりか。
This man's very wolf-like, isn't he? It looks like a bushy tail. His hair.
不逞浪士どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいがな。
三郎、口を慎みなさい。
Darling. Ooh. Yes, ship.
もっと悪い。つい本音が出た。
Cutie. The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. Who called his brother darling?
皆さん方ごめんなさいね。
ごめんな
この子
さいね。
昔から口が悪くて。三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいが、あなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要だと思いますし。
He said that as if he didn't just do the exactly same thing that his brother did.
たとえ左腕が使い物にならなくとも、その才覚と
Wow.
学識はタイのために大いに役立つはずですわ。
Awasha Sanan bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. Attention was cut by another voice.
伊藤さん、今のはどういう意味だ？
Let's go, Hijikata-san. Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. Ito seemed taken back by his eyes.
あんたが言うように、三男さんは優秀な論客だ。けどな、剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ。
Let's go! Hijikata! Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However,
ですが、私の腕は。
he couldn't even bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sanan of what he used to be, causing Sanan to curl his lips into a frown.
ごめん遊ばせ。私としたことが失言でしたわ。三男さんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですものね。仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ。
Shut the fuck up, Ito.
新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど。
Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. Kono tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず屯所移転の件に関してはもう少し話し合ってから決めるということで。伊藤さん、この後お付き合いを願えますかな。先ほどの件についてもう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので。
ええ、喜んで。
Yorokande. Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them.
近藤局長、私もご一緒して構いませんか？
いいとも。ぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ。新選組幹部といえど剣術ばかりではいかんからな。これからは広い視野と深い知識を身につけねばな。
は。
Kono left the common room with Ito and Miki, however, who still sat before us. Bitch. He smirked coldly towards us, slinked off to leave the common room. Okida spoke once Miki's footsteps were inaudible.
まったく誰なのさ、あんな人たちを連れてきたのは。
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助の野郎、帰ってきたらとっちめてやる。
伊藤さんは尊攘派なんだろう。長州の奴らと同じ考えの奴がよく新選組に入る気になったもんだな。
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのは心外らしい。そもそも尊皇とはとかなんとかわけのわからねえことを抜かしてやがったんだよ。近藤さんも近藤さんであっさり丸め込まれやがって。
近藤さんってお人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
その伊藤さんが参謀で弟が9番組組長か。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
I think it's just annoying, but they made it like it's gonna be a real bitch, which is pretty funny. Eventually, Hichikata approached Sanan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame.
三男さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Sanan laughed dryly and shook
伊
his head.
藤さんは学識も高く弁舌に優れ、剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。優秀な参謀の入隊でついに総長はお役御免というわけですね。
Yeah, Sanan-san. No.
おい、三男さん。
Approach him. Chase him. Sanan left the room as Hichikata's voice trailed behind, echoing the hall.
三男さんも気の毒にな。あの調子だから近頃は大使連中にも避けられちまってる。
Why?
無理もねえだろう。どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし、何を言っても皮肉と嫌味しか返ってこねえから、大したちも怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
Oh no, poor Sanan. Even though I haven't been here as long as captains, I know Sanan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよね。
んなことできるわけねえだろうが。近藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみてえだしな。伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされりゃ黙っちゃいねえだろう。
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せ。
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seemed no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea. Saido quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is.
さまざまな考えを持つ者が属してこそ、タイというのは広がりを見せるものだ。
This is why he's the best. So
だが
then,
無理に広げようとすると、内部から瓦解を始めることもある。
wow. His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considered of Ito to join, but his presence seems to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. The setting sun glowed through the window with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. Samuin there. I came out in the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sanan and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately the lack of it, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would for Sanan's arm to simply start working again, it seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
そうじ。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Okida was talking about Shinsegumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from what they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But I was not known about the existence of the serum. If I were not look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'll be punished. But I'm the daughter of the doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of Shinsegumi did. I shouldn't, because it's gonna be dangerous. Let's save. Investigate. I'm going to muster the courage to look into this. Where should I investigate? My room in the Yagi house. The rooms that I was not allowed to enter. The captains live here as well, and I'll finally learn how to navigate the building. However, there was a building that was a part of headquarters for the Shinsegumi, aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with warriors, live in the Mekwa house diagonal from Yagi. And Sanan, who's injured, have been holed up in the Nambu residence located behind Yagi. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually. It's barely used by anyone other than Sanan. It is a little isolated. There's secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I never think to check. If I look into it, it will either be in the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence, which should I need to look at. Oh! Go Nambu. I'm gonna try to get Sanan as well. Once I was quite sure everyone in Yagi house was asleep, I made my move. So far, so good. Luckily, I was able to get to the entrance without anything happening, and I sighed with relief.
何が良かったの?
Okita-kun! The surprise of seeing someone froze me.
君も大胆だな。僕たちの目を盗んで逃げ出そうとするなんて。
Oh, no, Okita, no, I'm not.
一体何が違うのかな。こんな夜中に人目を盗んで部屋を抜け出すなんて。脱走以外考えられないんだけど。
Look, it's not like that. What was I supposed to explain to him? The more I panicked, the more I choked up.
冗談だよ。もし君が本当に脱走したら、切っちゃえばいいだけだし。
Wow.
逃げたところでどうせ、行くあてもないだろうしね。
You're right. He was right. Even I someone managed to escape the Shinsegumi, I would lose my best chance at finding my father.
何にせよ。さっさと部屋に戻りなよ。子供が遊ぶ時間じゃないんだから。君だって、あらぬ疑いをかけられて、切られたくないでしょ。
Yeah, maybe Okita was right. It was reckless of me to investigate the serum. Thought swirled in my head before Okita spooked up again.
もし怖いものを見たら、すぐに声を上げて、助けを呼ぶんだよ。一人で何とかしようなんて思わなくてもいいから。わかった。
Hi. His voice. I'm sorry. My God, his voice. He sounded rather serious for a moment. What do you mean by something scary? What could I run into in the Shinsegumi's headquarters that could be as scary as he thinks? He looked almost surprised for a moment, his face breaking into a wry grin.
そうだな。怖い夢とか、お化けとか、あ、鬼副長なんてのもあるかもね。
That does sound scary. If Ichigata found out I was walking around the compound without permission, I'm going back to my room now.
そうそう。おとなしく寝てるのが賢明だよ。僕は中庭をもう一回りしてこようかな。
Okita started to hum as he walked away. I didn't expect to be found, especially by Okita of all people. There was no way I could sneak into the Nanbu house behind his back. Maybe I could investigate the Hagi house before going back to my room. Wait, I was so surprised I stopped to think. Why was Okita up so late? It was as if he expected someone to leave the Yagi house. There's no way he could have known I would try. If not me, then who? It was a night at the Yagi's house and dead silent. I tiptoed down the halls as quietly as possible. Huh? Were my ears playing tricks on me, or did someone just walk into the common room? I would be in trouble if someone saw me, so I did my best to blend in the shadows and hide. After a few moments of heart-pounding seclusion, my curiosity got the best of me. Of course, this girl. I departed my hiding place and crept out towards the common room. I peered inside. Inside was Sana. I wondered why. Something felt wrong. I just stood there. What is Sana doing here so late at night? I was at loss. Should I speak to him? But before I could make my mind, he turned.
まさか君に見つかるとはね。正直予想していませんでしたよ。
Sana gazed directly at me and muttered.
雪村くん、そこにいるのでしょ？出てきなさい。
Hey. I guess he spotted me. I gave up and myself visible to Sanan. I'm sorry if I seemed like I was snooping or watching what you were
別
doing.
に叱るつもりはありませんよ。夜中に怪しい人影を見かけたら気にかかるのは当然でしょうしね。
It was very subtle, but something was off in Sanan's attitude. He had a peaceful smile, something I had seen for what felt like ages. It was a bit too peaceful, as if his worries had suddenly left him. It was an expression I'd never seen him since he got injured. Sanan, did something good happen?
ええ、ありましたよ。というより、ようやく決心できたと言うべきでしょうか。
He's gonna join the furries. Something swished in his hand. Sanan, what is
こ
that?
れが気になりますか？
After his cryptic reply, he showed me what was in his hand. Sanan was holding a small bottle made from fine hydro. The glass was filled with crimson liquid that looked like poisonous chemical to me.
これは君の父親である光道さんが幕府の密使を受けて作った薬です。
What? The shogunate ordered my father to do something?
もともと西洋から渡来したものだそうですよ。人体に劇的な変化をもたらす飛躍としてね。
What do you mean by utterly
単
transformed?
純な表現をすると筋力や自己治癒力の増強でしょうか。
It sounded like something out of fairy tale. If such a thing would truly exist, the serum would be considered a miracle cure,
し
but
かしこの薬には致命的な欠陥がありました。
his smile twisted only a little.
強すぎる薬の効能が人の精神を狂わすに至ったのです。薬を飲んだ人間がどうなったか。
Ah! Of course! I've seen the result, the madness of the night I first met in this Hinsegumi. Okita and Saido had killed off the monster with the white hair.
君は察しがいいですね。そう、あの時の大使たちですよ。薬を与えられた彼らは理性を失い、血に狂う化け物となり果てました。
His words brought out sharp chill down my spine. How
切り合い
horrible.
の最中、血が流れるたびに狂っていては強靭な肉体を手に入れた意味がありません。光道さんは新選組という実験場でこの薬の改良を行っていたのですよ。
No. My father conducted experiments on human beings that made them go mad at the sight of blood? I couldn't believe it. No, I didn't want to believe it. There was no reason for Sanan to lie either. I saw it before my very eyes. Did my father really? Sanan shrugged off my disbelief and continued.
しかし残念ながら彼は行方不明となり、光道さんが残した資料をもとにして私なりに手を加えたものがこれです。
He smirked and shook off the bottle gently. The liquid inside sloshed from side to side almost lazily.
その原液をできる限り薄めてあります。
I had so many questions to ask him, but I didn't even know where to start. So I simply spoke the first thing that came to mind. If you drink that, will you be okay? The serum, will it prevent you from being
ま
mad?
だわかりません。誰にも試していないものですから。
His smile faded.
ですが、飲めば私の腕は治ります。
You mean you actually considered taking it? He had no guarantee that it would simply kill him outright. Even if it did survive, it will drive him insane. Sana, please reconsider this. I'm sure there's some other way. You don't need to rely on this.
こんなものにでも頼らなければ、私の腕は治らないのですよ。私はもはや用済みとなった人間です。普通の大使まで陰口を叩いているのは知っています。あなたにはわからないでしょうね。
Is there like a way for us to stop
大い
Sana?
なる志を持って同志と共に江戸から登ってきたというのに、何の役にも立てぬままお情けで重職を与えられている私の気持ちなど。
How could you say it's pity? You're a leader. The Shinsengumi respect and need you now more than ever. Sanan's eyes darted with melancholy, flashing a brief smile that entertained the idea behind my words.
私は剣客としてもこの新選組に必要なのですよね。
Sanan seemed bitterly focused on the words Hichikata said earlier. That really did affect him.
剣客として死に、ただ生きた屍になれというのであれば、人としても死なせてください。
No!
失敗すると決まったわけではありません。そう分の悪い賭けではありませんよ。
At least let me help dilute it. I'm a doctor. You're not. Sanan smiled as he said that, but there's no way to know what might happen to him. Considering the worst that could happen, I couldn't sit by allowing him to do this. I scream. I scream. Do I scream? Should I scream? I'll scream. Sanan came to hate himself for being unable to fight alongside his comrades and friends. Even if they forgave him, he never forgave himself. But
君にはわからないかもしれませんね。
was it sort of thing only a fellow swordsman could comprehend then? How could I convince him to listen to me? It was then in that moment of helplessness I remember Okita's words. Let's go.
もし怖いものを見たら、すぐに声を上げて助けを呼ぶんだよ。
Of course! I could never know what Sanan felt, and another man devoted to sword might. I screamed as loud as my lungs allowed, my voice echoing down the halls, across the courtyards of the compound. Okita! But even as I cried out, Sanan drew his head back and drained the vial in a single draught. No! With the soft clink of glass, it rolled from Sanan's palm to the floor of the common room. His face wrapped in pain, he collapsed to the floor. His hair began to turn white. Ugh. It became clear to me that his pain was something no ordinary person could handle. You have to hold on. Through his fingers, I saw his maddening eye. Before were the eyes that greeted me the first night in Kyoto. Behind me, I heard the door slid open. Sana looked behind me, over my shoulder.
Okita-kun ですか。
こんばんは、三男さん。
It seemed Okita didn't even look at me. His eyes completely focused on Sana, then briefly on a small bottle on the floor, before back to Sana. Ah, Okita-kun!
教えてくれてありがとう。
Ah, Okita, Sana is... Sana stared at Okita, his breath ragged, pain, like air struggled to stay in his
見
chest.
ての通り、実験は失敗です。Okita-kun、お願いできますか。
ええ、わかってます。
Wakatemasu. His expression flashed into a familiar grin. Even after Okita drew his sword, it still didn't occur to me what was about to happen. The polished tip of Okita's blade was pointed directly at Sana.
安心してください。きちんと僕が解釈してあげますよ。
飲み込みが早くて助かりますよ。さすが新選組の剣だ。
What? They're gonna kill Sanan? Sanan excluded a calm at the sound of Okita's response. I held my breath, unsure if I wanted to see what happened before me. Okita, you're not serious, are you? You're not gonna kill him, are you? My first shock with disbelief, and Okita's eyes paid me no attention.
やめてくれないかな、そういうの。よそ者は黙っててよ。
Hey, Dame! Was it Sanan his comrade or his friend? I should stop making this like a joke. Everyone seemed to give with their heart and soul to Shinsengumi, but not like this.
鬱陶しいんだよ。新選組大使にでもなったつもり。
He didn't even move, but his tone hit like a slap. I've been living with them for so long that my initial fear was completely disappeared. I felt like I found a place for myself.
忘れたって言うんならもう一度言ってあげるよ。君は利用価値があるから生かしてあげてるだけで、僕たちの仲間じゃない。
His word shattered my already breaking heart. But just then... Sanan screamed in pain. I saw him kick the floor. Then I heard a horrific sound like meat being cleaved and resounding through the darkness. Peeking over Okita's back, I heard the loud thud of a bloody collapsing to the floor. And around Okita's foot pulled the dark red puddle of blood. Sanan! I was trembling as I watched the blood trickle.
近づかない方がいいよ。
Okita's arm appeared in front of me coldly. But why? I gave him a reproachable gaze, but he showed no sense of faltering.
何度も言わせないでくれる。 近づくなって言ってるでしょ。深手は合わせたけど、また襲いかかってこないとは限らないしね。あの薬を使ったら、この程度じゃ死ねないんだよ。
So Sanan is still alive? Okita nodded bitterly, his body locked into a defensive
死
position.
ねないって言ってるんだから。生きてるに決まってるでしょ。
It was relief from the bottom of my heart. Goodness. This is good news. However, I mean, we could let our guards down. Sanan could lose his senses again and potentially mortally wound us. But for now, at least Sanan is still alive. After Sanan collapsed, the captain rushed into the room. They must have heard the commotion from the common room. Everything glowed white after, and I realized that I was in a daze. None of their words stuck in my ear. I wobbled back to my room.
まったく手間がかかる子だよね、君って。
Okita! Should we just be with Okita again? Okita had taken me back to my room, and I heard him as soon as he opened the door for me.
説明してくれるかな。どうして三男さんと一緒にいたの？
Okita is never particularly pleasant to me, but his tone was even harsher than usual. I felt like there was someone in the common room. I was curious, so I had a look. I found Sanan in there. Okita's lackadaisical response seemed disarming, and he just scanned me. Although my mind had cleared somewhat, it was still difficult to keep my thoughts organized. One, however, rose quickly to the surface. Is it true that my mother did something to do with that stuff that Sanan drank?
三男さんから聞いたの？
Yes, he said it makes you stronger, but it drives you mad. He fixed his eyes warily on the ceiling above us, sighing before eventually answering my question.
君は薬をここに持ち込んだ人の娘だし、狂った大使とも実際に会ってるし、少しぐらいなら聞かせてあげてもいいかな。本当なら殺しちゃいたいところだけど。
His manner of speaking was far removed than his usual joking self when he mentioned killing, but this time it felt like he meant it. He could kill me at any time.
薬のことについて何か質問ある？
Just really search for the words. Why did this Shansugumi get involved in something like
僕たち
this?
の役目は今日を騒がせる不逞老師を取り締まることだけど、簡単な仕事じゃないっていうことぐらい君にだってわかるよね。
Yeah. Among the Ronin, there are plenty that are actually skilled swordsmen. When I was on the rounds, I saw many such men fighting, dueling amongst
今
themselves.
日に来たばかりの頃はとにかく人手が足りなくてね。僕たちの名前なんて全然知られてないし、給金だって満足に出なかったからさ。入隊希望者なんてめったにいないし、たまに来ても得体の知れないゴロつきばっかり。そんな時幕府の人が薬の実験を持ちかけてきたんだ。
Experiment. That must have been what Sanan was referring to. So you knew that side effects were, and you still made them take
も
it?
ちろん彼らも承知の上だよ。新選組にはね、局中ハットっていうのがあるんだ。隊をまとめるための決まりみたいなものなんだけど、それに背くと即切腹を申し付けられる。
Cut yourself open?
あれ、何驚いてるの？武士の責任の取り方って言えば切腹しかないじゃない。
Sippu, meaning they killed themselves. Traditionally, when samurai disgraced themselves, they drove their sword into their release. I had thought such traditions were obsolete, and that now the worst they do is pretend to cut themselves with a
でも
fan.
まあ、どうせ死んじゃうんだし、最後にもう一度役に立ってもらった方がいいでしょ。だから切腹するか薬を飲むか、かわいそうだよね。
Couldn't think of anything to say. What sort of choice was that? Death by your own hand or madness and death by someone else? That man that I encountered that winter night had their last thought as men been hoped they might survive the madness? It sounded horrible.
簡単に強くなれる薬があれば便利だよね。実際は全然大したことなかったんだけど、僕たちでも簡単に切っちゃえるぐらい。
In a moment, I was taken back by that fateful night when Okita dispatched the warriors with tear without
三
any
男さん
effort.
はこれからどうなるんだろうね。
I was worried too. Is Sanan okay? Would he change? His stomach was twisting itself into knots. Can't you guys let me learn? Study it? So the long night broke. The captains of Shingumi gathered in the common room.
みんな安心してくれ。峠は越えたようだよ。
The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief.
で、どうなんだ三男さんの様子は。
今はまだ寝てる。静かなものだよ。
今までの大使たちみてえになっちまってるのか、それとも。
He knows. Unoe simply shook his
確
head.
かなことは目を覚ますまでわからんね。見た目は昨日までと変わらないんだが。
Suddenly the door slid open.
おはようございます皆さん。ご機嫌いかがかしら。
うげ、伊藤さん。
うげとはご挨拶ですのね。皆さんお顔の色が優れない様子ですけど。
そりゃ朝っぱらからあんたの顔見たせいに決まってるだろうが。
まあ長倉くんったら冗談がお上手ですこと。
Okay, he called everybody darling. He thought dismissed Agakura's slight remark and he turned to face the standing warriors.
皆さんの顔色がよろしくないのはもしかして昨晩の騒ぎと関わりがあるのかしら。
いや、その。
Desperately, Kono's eyes flew around the room, looking at someone to offer an excuse.
よし、ごまかせその。
あ、俺か。実は昨日。
大根役者は出しゃばらないでくれるかな。そういうのだったらもっと得意な人がいるじゃない。
Okita turned to Saito expectantly. The latter spoke up at once.
伊藤参謀がお察しの通り、昨晩屯所内にて事件が発生しました。
まあ事件ですって。
はい。ですが我々もまだ全容を把握できてはいない状況です。今の時点での説明は余計な誤解を招くばかりかと。ですので今夜にでも場を設け、詳しくお伝えさせていただきたく存じます。
そういうことですの。今夜のお呼ばれ心待ちにしていますわ。ではごめん遊ばせ。
Ito brandished another strange smile, stood, nodded, and left the room promptly.
なんとか見逃してもらえたみたいだね。
What do you mean?
伊藤さんはなんだかんだで頭が回る人だからな。幹部が勢ぞろいしてる場に三男さんだけいねえんだ。あの人絡みで何かあったってことぐらいすぐ感づくだろ。
Oh. He thought lightly guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I'd look up just in time to see Sanan shuffle through the door.
そんな化け物を見るような目で見られても困りますよ。
三男さん、起きてていいのかい？
少し気だるいですがね。これも薬の副作用でしょう。あの薬を飲んでしまうと昼間動くことが困難になりますから。
Sanan looked a little pale. It looked too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it's hard for him to move during the day,
私はもう人ではありません。
vampire. Those words sunk our hearts heavily. Even the captain fell silent to his solemn admission.
いや、三男君、君が生きていてくれてよかった。我々はそれだけで十分だと思う。
Kono stood and grabbed Sanan's shoulder tightly, his expression bright and endearing. Tears clearly welled up in his beaming eyes.
それで腕の方はどうなんです？治ったんですか？
まだ本調子ではありませんからね。自分でもよくわからないのですが。
He lifted his left arm, the arm that had before long limp at his side, flexed his hand. It didn't look any different than before his injury.
治っているようですね。少なくとも不便がない程度には。
Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. However,
あの薬を飲んだってことは昼間動けねえようになっちまったんだろう。それなのにタイムに参加なんてできるのか？
his voice was calm, almost
解決
careless.
策はあります。私が死んだことにすればいい。これから私は 薬の成功例として羅刹を束ねていこうと思っています。
三男さん、それ本気で言ってるのか？あんた自分が何を言ってるのか
分かっていますとも。長倉君、君こそ忘れたのですか？我々は薬の存在を伏せるよう幕府から命じられているのですよ。私が死んだことにすれば今までのように薬の存在を隠し通すことができる。それにもし薬の持つ副作用を消すことができるのだとすれば、それを使わない手はないでしょう。
They seem against Sanan's idea, though no one said anything. Who would want anyone to consult a friend of life secrecy lived in shadows? But
薬の実験は幕府からのお達しでもあるしな。
well, obviously the Shogun is not a great guy, is he?
そうするしかないか。
まあ三男さんが自分で選んだ道ですし、止めたって聞く人じゃないですよね。
よくわかっていますね。
Hijikata scoffed at Sanan's suggestion, bitter and frothed from his
短
word.
所移転の話、冗談じゃ済まされなくなったな。三男さん伊藤派の目から隠すには広い短所が必要だ。ここじゃ狭すぎる。
同意します。薬の研究を続けるのであればなおのこと移転を急ぐべきかと。
よし、ろくに寝てねえとこ悪いが話し合いを始めさせてもらうぜ。雪村、お前は部屋に戻ってろ。ゆうべろくに寝てねえだろ。
Okay, understood. Please excuse me. I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I'm happy that Sanan was safe, but a whole flurry of new concerns arose. Learning my father's horrible work, what will become of me? Will I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed heavily in my head as I walked back to my room. It's been like 4 months. June 1865. Our emperor passed and our year moved from the 2nd of Ganji to the 1st of Keio. It was 3 months since we moved to the headquarters to Nishi Honganwanji. There's a lot more room, but more room meant farther to walk. I walked through it almost every day for weeks and it finally began to learn my way around. As I turned the corner near the back of the compounds, I saw a sight of someone sitting in the shadows. There you are, Sanan. Your food's ready.
ああ、君でしたか。ありがとう。
The snow disappeared, the cherry blossom bloomed and fled, now the swallows and the heat came. Sanan and I exchanged a pair of smiles. I held up my hand, let the breeze brush across them. It's really gotten warm lately.
ええ。まあ、今の私には風より日差しの強さの方が勘に触りますがね。
Really? I didn't think the sun was particularly strong that day, but the Sanan who had in the shadows and out of sight during the day must have been unbearable. The night he changed, Sanan's hair turned white, his eyes was a thirst of blood. But looking at his peaceful smile now made it hard to imagine such night was real. If someone told me it was all a bad dream, I would have believed it. It wasn't a dream though, and now Sanan spent his days hiding from the sunlight and from others. No. It wasn't a dream though. Now Sanan spent his days hiding from the sunlight and from others. For just a moment the sun lit on Sanan's hair. Ah! I don't know if it was a trick of light or simply my mind being foolish, but in that moment his hair was brilliant white.
どうかしましたか？幽霊でも見るような目つきで人を見るのは良いこととは思えませんが。
Oh no, nothing at all. You look perfectly normal now, of course. Surely I thought I must have simply imagined it. Even if I had, there was no denying that he was the same man who had met with bloodlust. The fear of that night cast a shadow over my heart. It was unnerving. Eisuke and I made our way through the crowded as usual streets of Kyoto at brisk pace. You know, I haven't gone out on patrol with you quite a while, Eisuke.
あ、
ああ、そうかもな。
Yeah, you were gone a while.
俺、長いこと江戸に行ってたし。俺の留守中どうだった？新八さんとか佐野さんにいじめられたりしなかったか？
Yeah. But it was fine. They were kind to
そっ
me.
か。親父さんの行方はどうなんだ？手がかりとか見つかったか？
He's really nice. Not at
や
all.
っぱ見つからねえか。俺も江戸に戻った時、お前の家の様子を見に行ってみたんだけどな。人が戻ってきた様子はなかったし、ほんとどこに行っちまったんだろうな。
The somberness of Heisuke's expression started to rub off on me. Now I was depressed. Oh, thank you for taking the time to look anyways.
いや、別に礼を言われるようなことじゃねえって。そもそも、お前が今みてえに自由に外に出られねえのも、元はといえば。
Heisuke? Heisuke stopped himself mid-sentence, which was jarring. Ever since he returned from Edo, he looked glum. Hey, Heisuke? How about you? It's been a while since you were in Kyoto. Does it seem a bit different from Edo?
ああ、そうだな。街も人も結構変わった気がする。
Huh? I wonder what's going through his head. Did something happen to him in Edo? The sudden change of character confused me. Heisuke's head jerked up slightly. He looked across the street. He stood on his toes and waved.
おい、掃除！そっちの様子はどうだった？
特に何も。いつも通りだね。
Okita was out of patrol as well, though his route took him through a different part of the city.
でも、将軍上洛の時には忙しくなるんじゃないかな。
The shogun's coming to visit Kyoto.
そう。近藤さんも張り切ってるよ。近藤さん、家持公のことをすごく尊敬してるから。
I see. I hope it turns out well. Right, Heisuke?
ああ、まあ、近藤さんはそうだろうな。
Huh? Something had really gotten into him. I'm glad at Okita to see if it noticed anything. Okita, 大丈夫？
平気だよ。ちょっと風邪をひいちゃったみたい。
Oh no, yeah, they're sick. Right? Because from their injury. I see. Well, please take care of yourself. I've medicine to treat colds. I'll give you some when we return.
そう。ありがとう。君でもごくたまに役に立つことがあるんだね。
What's the matter? Okita's eye looked past me. Suddenly, something caught his attention off to the side.
おい小娘、断るとはどういう了見だ？
え？
やめてください。話して。
Oh, it's the other me.
民草のために日々上位を論ずる我ら志士に尺の一つや二つ自分からするのが当然であろうが。
Across the street, a clump of perhaps 3 or 4 men were harassing a young girl. Okita, Heisuke!
分かってるって。お前はここで待ってろ。
But it appeared Okita got to them first.
やれやれ。
やれやれ。
上位って言葉も君たちに使われるんじゃかわいそうだよ。
The usual crowd shuffled away from Okita and the men quickly as they could. No one wanted to be near the sight of unseated blades. The Ronin's eyes hunts Okita's jacket and the men stiffened.
その羽織、新選組か。
知ってるなら話が早いな。どうする？
His lips curled into a prejudiced smile as his hands gripped his sword. There was no mirth in the rector's grin. The Ronin face grew much paler. Their boots were not totally deflated yet, as their ringleader made one more attempt.
幕府の犬が。
いいからとっとと失せろって。
The sight of two Shinsegumi blue jackets standing shoulder to shoulder was enough to deter the men.
貴様ら、覚えておれ。
The luster color drained from their face and they turned tail and ran.
俺たちを見てとっとと逃げ出すぐらいなら、最初からあんな真似するなっての。
You guys aren't going after them. Arrest them.
どんな罪で？君って意外と過激だな。
I didn't really mean it like that.
助けてくださってありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
私、南雲薫と申します。
I watched as the girl gave Okita a quick bow. She was so refined, so ladylike. Even dressed like a girl, I doubted I could ever be as elegant as her. I suddenly just felt sorry for myself when I suddenly felt a hand on my arm. Okita?
いいから、この子の横に立って。
He shoved me next to the girl we just rescued and stepped back to stroke his chin thoughtfully. Yeah, we look identical. My eyes just bigger. Okita? I glanced nervously towards the girl and tried to smile kindly under the circumstances. The smile she gave me in return was beautiful, but there was something about it that seemed odd. She seemed familiar.
やっぱりよく似てるね、二人とも。
We look alike? That's when I finally realized she was identical to how I saw in the mirror.
そっか？俺は全然似てないと思うけどな。
いや、似てるよ。きっとこの子が女装したらそっくりになると思うな。
沖田さん、この方困ってらっしゃいますよ。
Oh, that is something, but what? Perhaps she saw through my vision, or perhaps it was something else.
きちんとお礼をしたいのですけれど、今は所用がありまして、ご無礼ご容赦くださいね。このご恩はまたいずれ。新選組の沖田総司さん。
Stay away from my man, bitch. With that, the girl who called herself Kaoru disappeared into the crowds of Kyoto, although the uneasiness created by her presence remained.
おいおい、ありゃ掃除に気でもあるんじゃねえの？
今のがそう見えたんなら、平介は一生佐野さんに勝てないよね。
どういう意味だよ
Their back and forth continued, but my mind was elsewhere. Last night Winds left a number of puddles on the road, and when looking into them, I saw a strange girl who looked just like me. Kaoru, huh? Wind caught the surface of the puddle, sending a flurry of ripples across it.
おい、そろそろ豚舎に戻るぞ。
Hi, coming. I turned and ran towards Heisuke and Okita, already on their way back to the headquarters. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu, as advertised. The whole Shinsegumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly through the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men, under his leadership with glowing expression.
皆も徳川第14代将軍徳川家茂公が上洛されるという話は聞き及んでいると思う。その上洛に伴い公が二条城に入られるまで新選組総力をもって警護の任に当たるべしとの要請を受けた。
将軍公の警護を新選組が？
こりゃとんでもねえ大出世だな。
池田屋や金門の変の活躍でお偉いさん方も俺たちの働きを認めざるを得なかったんだろうよ。
警護中は文字通り僕らの刀に国の行く末がかかってるってことですか？
そういうことだ。てめえら気合い入れていけよ。
将軍公の警護とはまた大役ですな。
本当に三男さんが生きていればどれほどお喜びになったことか。本当に惜しい方を亡くしましたわね。
Shut the fuck up, Ito-kun. Ito wiped crocodile tears away from his eyes with a silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sana died. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few men of the Shinsegumi know the truth.
伊藤さん、こたびの幕命を立派に成し遂げることこそ亡くなった三男君が真に望んでいることだと思います。
分かっていますわ。私たちの名を天下に広く知らしめる絶好の機会ですものね。
ともあれ、これから忙しくなりますな。
まずはタイの編成を考えねば。とりあえず俺とトシ、それからソウジ。
待ってくれ近藤さん。ソウジは今回外してやってくれねえか。
なぜだ？
なんでも風邪が治らねえとかでな。養生しろって散々言ってるのによ。
He got cancer or something, if I remember correctly.
本当か？大丈夫なのか、ソウジ？
大した風邪じゃないんですけどね。 土方さんは大げさなんですよ。
何言ってやがるんだ。さっきも咳してただろうが。
Ronnie started coughing up blood and shit. Oh no, my Okita.
それ薬を売りつけるための工場ですか？何を言われても石田三役は買いませんよ。
そんなんじゃねえよ。いいから言う通りにしろ。
Gave Okita some pretty strong medicine not too long ago. Wonder if that didn't work. Maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here. And suddenly someone raised his hand.
平介、どうしたんだね。
あのさ、近藤さん。実は俺もちょっと調子が。
なんだ、平介も風邪か？気をつけないといかんぞ。せっかくの晴れ舞台。全員揃って家持公をお迎えしたかったのだがな。
すいません。
ああ、いや、責めたわけではないんだ。体調は大事だからな。いずれまた機会もあるであろうし、二人にはその時存分に働いてもらいたい。
Kondo and Hijikata continued to discuss their formation, but suddenly Hijikata turned to me.
そういや雪村、お前はどうするんだ。
What?
儲けてるんじゃねえよ。お前は警護に参加するのかって聞いてんだ。
I can go too?
無論構わんとも。君も今や新選組の一員と言っても過言ではない。ぜひ参加してくれ。
But I couldn't really go? I said it for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed.
まあ言ってもいいんじゃない？そんなに危険もなさそうだしね。
長州藩士は今日に出入りできねえから、切った張ったの騒ぎにはならねえだろうし。
What should I do? I'm still concerned about a person like me who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads of my father turning up on rounds. I'll go.
よし、わかった。お前には伝令やら使いっ走りを頼むことになると思うがな。
Oh, they can go for an option. I thought I would be getting an option to like take care of Akita-kun.
こき使ってやるから覚悟しとけ。
Hi. In the early days of the Tokugawa shogunate, Nijo Castle was a place for the shogun to stay on his way to the capital. It's been a while since shogun actually stayed in, though. We made the shogun on the road and began our escort about 30 minutes earlier and arrived at the castle relatively recently. By now, imagine Kondo, Nagakura, Inoue, and the men were greeting of the officials and other important people in the shogun's retinue. Well, I got a job to do too. It was my job to tell soldiers when to change shift, carry messages back and forth. A glorified errand girl, in other words. I don't see myself being useless though, I think. I've come with a message.
なんだ、お前が伝達係かよ。ここは遊び場じゃねえんだぜ。
Well, I'm not here to play.
そうかよ。じゃあまともな刀も刺してないお前が何しに来てるんだ？
I've come here to do what I can do. Would you mind if we stop playing games?
言ってみろ。
The chief is currently going around, paying his respects to the people of the castle. Everyone else continued with the guard. Huh? That's it? It's that simple?
なんだそのバカ面は。俺が伝達を聞いたのがそんなにおかしいか。
Hey. Well, no, it's just...
仕事は仕事だからな。市場を挟むつもりはねえんだよ。ほら、伝達は聞いたんだ。さっさと行け。
Hey. Miki and I never really got on the best of terms, but maybe he's a responsible person. After he shooed me away, I continued attending my duties as a messenger. Can't read. In the surroundings of Niji Castle, I can see the warriors wearing white uniform, which was different than the afternoon uniform. They don't seem too nervous, but I guess it makes sense. Some of the imperial nationalist extremists were driven out of Kyoto, and many warriors fled. There's no one thing anything could happen. Sudden chill ran down the length of my spine. I froze. I knew the feeling. A length of cold steel seeking entry into your flesh, eyes shining with lust of blood and violence. Since I began living with the Shinsegumi, I felt it more than once. Bloodlust. My eyes were drawn to the roof, where no one would think to look. A large wall cast a shadow, shielding a section of the roof from the moonlight. There they stood. Wow! Hot.
さほど鈍いというわけでもない。
They look very distinctive, unlike any soldiers I've seen before. But 3 sets of piercing eyes scattered my thoughts, making it hard to think. I recognized them. Now I had to put names to the faces. Chikage Kazama. Kyuju Amagiri. Kyo Shiranui. They were connected to both Satsuma and Choshu, and they were in an effort to impede the Shinsugumi at Ikada, again at Hamaguri. Why are you here?
そのなぜっつうのはどうやってここに立ち入ったかを聞いてやがんのか
Why he use a gun? No, that's just unfair.
だったら答えは簡単だ。俺ら鬼の一族には人間が作る障害なんざ意味をなさねえんだよ。
我々はある目的のためにここに来た。君を探していたのです。
Eh? My head was spinning so hard it could burst. How did this man know my name? I don't understand. A demon? What do you mean? What are you here for? No, you must be joking.
鬼を知らぬだと本気で言っている。
He stepped forward, cloaked in shadows. When Amigiri spoke, it was calm and peaceful, as if we were reasoning with a frightened child.
君は負った傷がすぐに癒えませんか。
いいよ。I held my breath.
並の人間とは思えぬほど怪我の治りが早くありませんか。
How does he know my secret? I never revealed to anyone before. Well, words struggled to come to mind, just as I would deny their accusation.
ああ？なんなら血ぶちまけて証明した方が早いか？
Shiranui gun glistened eerily.
知らぬ。貴様貴重な女鬼に傷を負わせるつもりか。
A rare female demon. Oh my god. Are you gonna ask me to like
そんなこと言われても
the
こい
kids?
つの往生際が悪いんだからしょうがねえだろうが。
After Kazama glared at Shiranui, his eyes drifted towards Kodachi on my hip again.
多くは語らん。鬼を示す生徒。東の鬼が持つ子たち。証拠としては十分です。
My family name? What's wrong with Yukimura? I didn't understand what they were saying. The cold sweat started inching down my spine.
お前を連れて行くのに同意など。
Chikage is hot.
女鬼は貴重だ。共に来い。
Hey! His hands stretched out from the darkness, pale and grasping like tentacle of some hideous subterranean monster. Then a blade flickered through the night.
おいおい、合いびきならもう少し色気のある場所を選んだ方がいいんじゃねえか。
Hot, they're so hot. I love them.
またお前たちか。田舎の犬は目端だけは聞くと見える。
それはこちらのセリフだ。
Harada, Saito! My legs almost collapsed, as if now shattered tension was the only thing keeping me standing. I teetered backwards, my balance momentarily lost. A strong, sinewy hand caught me and pulled me back up, its grip hard as steel.
下がってる。
Hijikata-kun. Hijikata. One hand guided me behind him, even as the other drew his sword.
将軍の首でも取りに来たかと思えば、こんなガキ一人に一体何の用。
将軍も貴様らも今はどうでもいい。これは我ら鬼の問題だ。
鬼だと。
His eyes narrowed. Hijikata seems perplexed because of a statement, as if contemplating the possibility of its truth.
こいつの面を拝むのは金門の変以来だな。
腐れんってとこか？大して嬉しくもねえがな。
再会という意味ではこちらも同じくだ。
我々の邪魔立てをするつもりですか。ならば。
The tension was so thick in the air I could scarcely breathe. They were powder keg ready to explode. Even the slightest movement could set them off. It wasn't like I could do much. But I still wanted to help them, so I grabbed my sword.
区長たちの心配は無用だ。
Yamazaki, when did
区長
you?
の命
君はこのまま俺が豚書まで連れて行く。
That you're telling me to run away?
その通り。君がここにいてもできることは何もない。
I mean, he may be right, but well, reasonably, brain should say, go back to the headquarters. But I kind of want to stay and see what happens. So, I'm saying, I'm going to stay here.
君は状況を理解していない。ここに残って何ができる？
I know that staying here might not be the smartest idea, but they called me demon, told me to come with them. I still don't know what they meant. I need to know the truth.
君にも譲れない理由があるのだろうな。だが、それは俺も同じこと。副長の命を遂行する。それが俺にとって己を貫くということだ。
What? Yamasaki reached from my arm, ready to take me by force, but the gun Shiranui held was pointed towards Yamasaki.
へいへい、待てって。お姫さんはここに残るっつってんだろ。振られたのに邪魔してんじゃねえよ。
With his spear, Hara tried to pierce Shiranui in the heart, but Shiranui easily dodged his strike.
時に拙速は高知に勝りますが、知らぬいの手の速さも考えものですね。
そういうあんたも止めなかったようだな。
Saito and Amigiri maneuvered nearly into striking distance of one another. Saito drew his sword and attempted to strike at Amigiri.
甘い。
Amigiri saw through his movement instantly, dodged the incoming blade.
くそ、なんなんだこいつら。
Ichigata screamed, his voice filled with frustration. I cry for backup, reach for my sword. Okay. I did choose reach for my sword, but I feel like it's a dumb idea. So let's try the second one. I wasn't helping at all. I was utterly useless in a fight, and I knew it. What could I do then? That was the only thing. Yamasaki, you should go find Kondo. Just when I screamed that.
これ以上よそ者を立ち入らせるつもりはありません。
Ah! Amagiri stared at me. Then suddenly.
待て！貴様の相手はこの俺だ。
Saito's hand clasped at the hilt of the sword as he walked slowly before
下が
Amigiri.
っている雪村。奴らの目的はあんただ。そこから動くな。
I responded. Got it. I took a few steps back. Saito-kun.
あとは任せろ。
聞いてはいただけませんか。金門の時と同様、私には君と戦う理由がない。
Okay, so I guess if I stay here, I'm attracting to this stray man, I guess. Well, then let's go with Saito.
あいにくだが、俺にはあんたと戦う理由がある。
He's so hot. His voice was slow and controlled. But I thought I sensed a current of tension beneath it. Saito then moved slowly to interdict Amagiri's approach. Was he protecting me?
あくまで邪魔をするつもりですか。いいでしょう。
The giant man flexed his hand, settling into a crouched stance. Saito's hand tightened on his sword. For several long moments, neither of them moved. The air was thick with barely contained intensity, and the ground could tear asunder, swallowing us. Seconds felt like hours as the two opponents regarded one another. Hey yo, Pokemon! A shadow drifted across the moon and street, briefly darkened. There was a blur of a movement. When light returned, Saito and Amigiri stood some distance apart, back to one another as they made a single blow and continued forward. I had no idea what had just happened. Their moves were just too fast to keep up with. A breath of wind stirred my
今
hair.
ので仕留めるつもりだったのですが。
お互い様だ。
Neither man looked at the least bit surprised, concerned that this intended death blow was avoided. Sato's eyes narrowed to piercing blue slit as he turned to face his opponent. Amigiri turned as well, matching Sato's intensity. They stood like that for a moment until Amigiri's glare softened. He didn't love his fighting stance, but his arms dropped to his side and stood as still as he could. Both men stepped back, their fight clearly finished.
これ以上の戦いは無意味ですな。長引いて今日が乗っても困るでしょう。
それ俺様への当てつけか？こう見えても引き際は心得てるつもりだぜ。今日が乗ると止まんねえのはむしろ。
Hiranui looked at Kazama as he spoke.
確かにこれ以上の長いは無駄か。あくまでも今日は真偽を確かめに来ただけだから。
むざむざ逃がすとでも思っているのか。
虚勢はやめておけ。貴様らはまだしも騒ぎを聞きつけて集まった雑魚どもは何人死ぬか知れたものではないぞ。
Kazama and his companions were no doubt powerful. His words held arrogance, we know spoke the truth. They laughed silently, fading into darkness, but as he did, Kazama spoke to me one last time, his red eyes piercing as they glared.
近いうちに迎えに。
He was far out reach, but his words nearly brushed against my cheek, cold and threatening. A shiver ran up my spine, I crumbled to the floor.
大丈夫か？
大丈夫？
お前、嘘つくの下手だな。顔真っ青だぜ。しばらくそのまま座ってろ。歩けなかったら俺がおぶってやるからよ。
Arigato. For a while, Hichikata stared deeply, harshly towards the darkness.
おい、お前、あいつらに狙われる心当たりでもあるのか？
I hesitated. They had said I was one of them. Kazama invited me to go with him. Had he been telling the truth, I didn't know. I'm not sure. There was really nothing more I could say. Words of the incident spread of the Ransei Segumi quickly in another form.
おい、侵入者がいたらしいな。幹部がガン首揃えて何やってやがったんだ。
侵入者？私は聞かされていない。間違った情報なのでは？
おいおい、俺が嘘を言ってるってのか？
嘘とは言っていない。君が勘違いをしていると言っているだけだ。本当にいたのなら、まず私に連絡があるはず。それがなかったのだから、偽の情報に決まっている。
That guy's sure is annoying. Supposedly, they stormed to Hichikata's room, but then he told the accident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people who were notified of Kazama's infiltration were only helpful of captains. So in the case of public, the infiltration of Nijo Castle didn't happen. Since then, once the rest of men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of the meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazama, Kyuchi Amikiri, and Kyoshi Ranui. They called themselves Demon. Their previous encounters with the Shinsegumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. Satsuma was the most powerful domain in the opposite domain, and the Choshu are publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to deal with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come from me? They said I was one of them and knew about my family name, my Kodachi. But how? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I'm the daughter of my father and my mother. I'm a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? 1865, June. Still June. June 1864. I thought it was 1865. Okay. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What's going on?
Oh,
is he getting kicked out? Ito, is something wrong?
どうしたもこうしたもありませんよ。私がなんであんな野蛮人どもと同じ部屋で肌をさらさなくてはならないの？
Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself shakily, adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke.
将軍上洛の時に近藤さんと意気投合したお医者様が屯所にいらしてるのよ。大使たちの健康診断を行うとかの名目で。
With a disdain sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew, given my particular situation. I've been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away.
あのハゲ坊主じゃなくてお医者様ったら皆の前で私に着物を脱げとおっしゃるのよ。拒んだら無理やり脱がせようとするし。
Oh my god.
それにあの大使たちの態度、まるで野獣みたいでしたわ。
Savages seems to be strong. At any rate, perhaps I should see what physical entailed. I was the doctor's daughter after all. What's this doctor's name?
確か松本良順とか言ったかしら。
What? Wait, Matsumoto Sojun?
何よその反応。知り合いなの？
When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I needed anything. Unfortunately, he was on a business when I arrived. After that, I'm going to watch the physical exam. There's no time to waste.
あんなところに行きたがるなんて、なんて物好きなのかしら。
Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh, the scene froze me in place.
次の人。
おう、俺の番だな。一丁頼みます先生。どうすか、剣術一筋で鍛えに鍛えたこの体。
新八さんの場合体は頑丈だもん。見てもらうのは頭の方だよな。
ああ、余計なこと言ってると締めるぞ平助。
うん、長倉新八と。よし、問題ない。次。
先生、もっとちゃんと見てくれよ。
いやいや、申し分ない健康体だ。
新八、後ろが使えてるんだからさっさと終わらせろって。
Oh, Hanada has a wound on his stomach. So cute though.
そうじゃなくってよ、もっと他に見るところがあんだろ。鍛え抜かれた鋼のようなこの筋肉とか、仁王像みたいに屈強そうな体型とか。
Wow.
診察は見てもらうものであって見せつけるものではない。さっさとどけ。
さっさとどけ。It was difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I can imagine him as a part of such display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude.
雪村君、こんなところでどうかしたのか？
It's so weird seeing you without your ninja outfit. Yamasaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Matsumoto was here. Yamasaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point.
なるほど。松本先生に何か話があるようだな。
はい。
君のことはある程度聞いている。事情はおおよそ分かった。だが、診察がなかなか終わらないようだ。俺に任せてくれるか？
Like, why are there so many options in this game? I think I'll take care of it. Don't worry, it's my own business. I'll take care of it.
そうか。では、何かあったら手伝おう。その時は頼ってくれ。
はい、ありがとう。I guess you like that for no reason. Yamazaki and I parted ways and walked towards the examination room where the doctor worked.
君はもう少し胃腸に気をつけるようにな。この薬を食後に飲むように。今ので薬が切れたか。
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me. He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity.
薬の補充も兼ねて休憩にしようか。君、ちょっと手伝ってくれるかね。
はい。What luck! Yay. Go me. Dr. Matsumoto.
松本先生、雪村君。
近藤さん。
おお、早速会えたようだな。はい、おかげさまで。
Nani? I was already lost. Dr. Masato laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
私は君に会うためにここに来たんだよ。高堂さんの娘さんがここに身を寄せていると近藤さんが教えてくれたんだ。
Oh, I see.
高堂さんと松本先生が懇意にしていたことは、俺も何か高堂さんの手がかりになればと思い、松本先生が今日に戻ってすぐに連絡を取った。
The Shinsengumi had their reasons wanting my father found, but Dr. Masamoto's appearance was still cause of joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo as I came to Kyoto. He received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was. Consequently, he couldn't find me.
すれ違いだったとはいえ、辛い思いをさせてしまったようだ。君がここにいる事情は分かっておるよ。
No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, but my father... His face took a grin cast. Before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be.
残念ながら、私も高堂さんの居場所は知らないんだ。
I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose at some level I believe Dr. Masato had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that it didn't take make the truth any less devastating. Oh my god. Kondo simply nodded.
君はここにいることで、あの薬に関わってしまったようだね。あの薬。つまり高堂さんが新選組で行っていた研究のことについてだが。
Yes, I know what he meant. The experiment my father conducted with some strange concussion that could make people go mad. Please tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded.
高堂さんが幕命を受け、新選組で行っていたのは、羅刹を生み出す実験だった。羅刹とはすなわち、鬼神のごとき力と驚異的な治癒能力を持つ人間のことだ。
Furies. This term seems so familiar that I realized I overheard some of the men talking about it.
掃除。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
ああ、羅刹ってのは薬を飲んだら怪我も治っちまう。
羅刹っていうのはかわいそうな子たちのことだよ。
そしてその羅刹を生み出したのは落ち水という薬だ。これは西洋ではエリクサー、中華では先端と呼ばれるものに値する。つまるところ不老不死の霊薬みたいなものだ。
Oh wow. Water of life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale than real life. But there was something in Dr. Masamoto's tone of voice that seemed like he was telling the truth. I've already heard how it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people crazy? And even if you survive that, even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Masamoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with his thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired.
そこまで知っていたのか。
はい。They were human, but not human? Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could ever have been used for good. Even if it had healed Sanan's army suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered and some even died. Why was my father doing this? It was just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome.
だからこそ両親の呵責に耐えかねた高堂さんはここを去ったんだろう。
しかしあれは幕府が新選組の人材不足を補うために授けてくださった知恵でもあるのです。
The doctor only shook his head.
あの計画は失敗だ。行わない方がいい。幕府も見切りをつけているはずだ。
Kono frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Masamoto would question the shogunate's original decision.
あの薬を飲んだ大使たちがどうなったか、近藤さんもよく知ってるだろう。あの計画は人道的に決して許されるもんじゃない。
Kono gave an uncomfortable grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kono knew just how dangerous it was to use the water of life, but the shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse even if he wanted to. Silence felt like a thick blanket.
たとえ将軍公の御典医を務めておられる方のお言葉といえど、大使でもない方に口を差し挟まれる筋合いはありません。
Sudden. His face was pale as moonlight as if he were walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
三男君、休んでいた方がいいのではないか。顔色が悪いぞ。
ご心配なく。
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool
我
gaze.
々は我々の裁量で例の薬を有効に活用させていただいています。
しかし危険だ。あの薬は人が扱えるような代物じゃない。
Tell him.
研究は続いています。そしてこの私という成功例もあります。
Asana did indeed prove it was possible to drink the water of life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy.
健平気そうに見えるかもしれんが、体のどこかに相当無理をかけていることも考えられるぞ。
私は至って健康ですよ。今後も研究と改良を重ねれば薬の質が上がるのは明白です。
そのためにさらに多くの大使を犠牲にするつもりかね。成功するかどうかもわからん実験に大使を付き合わせるのは生命を冒涜しているとしか思えんが。
Tell him, Matsumoto.
彼らは我々の礎となったのです。無駄死にではありません。
しかしだな。
まあまあ、松本先生も三男君も落ち着いて、この話は後日改めてということにしないか。
It's my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree. No matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet.
そうだな。わかった。
There seemed to be a little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kono has likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before he got to the
近
plaza.
藤さんがそうおっしゃるのであれば。
Sudden face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, but one corner of his mouth quirked into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as they arrived.
そういえば先生、健康診断の方はどうでしたかな。
ああ、それなんだがな。頭を抱えたよ。
え、それは一体なぜ？
なぜも何も。怪我人や病人を合計したら全大使の3分の1近くになるじゃないか。
なんと。
なんとじゃないぞ、近藤さん。あんたらは今まで何をやってたんだ。切り傷から渋り腹まで。この豚書は病の見本市だぞ。
Yes.
面目ない。まさかそんなことになっていたとは。
まずは病室を用意して、そこに病人を運び込んでくれ。それから、豚書を清潔にしてもらわんと話にならん。
承知しました。すぐに取り掛かります。
So we were ordered to clean the entire compound.
ったく、何なんだよ大掃除って。俺は掃除とか整理整頓がこの世で一番嫌いなのによ。
ぐちゃぐちゃ言ってないで、さっさとそこのタンスを持ち上げてくれって。散々自慢してた体力を披露するいい機会じゃねえか。
うわー、ネズミが出た
落ち着け。大事はない。どうやらそこにある握り飯を餌にしていたようだな。
本当だ。誰だよ、食い残しの握り飯をこんなところに隠してたやつ。
まったく。なぜ私がこのような雑用に駆り出されなければならんのだ。
Shut the fuck up, Takeda.
そもそも私は軍略が専門だというのに。
いいじゃねえか。いつも自慢してる甲州流なんちゃらでパパッと終わらせてくれよ。
黙れ。私の甲州流軍学はこのようなくだらぬ役目のためにあるものではない。
原田も人が悪いな。こいつが盲信してる時代遅れの兵法なんてこのご時世掃除の役にも立たないだろう。
ミキ君、言葉に気をつけたまえ。確かに洋楽には劣るかもしれんが、甲州流軍学は決して時代遅れではなく。
お、近藤さんだ。
What happened just now?
近藤局長、ご覧ください。先ほどまで足の踏み場もないほどだった部屋が私の指導でここまで。局長は
I didn't realize Kondo was nowhere to be seen and glared at Harada.
かかりやがる。
原田貴様測ったな。
ぶつくさ文句言ったりペコペコしたり
ペコ
怒った
ペコ
り忙しいなあんたも。そうやって相手によってコロコロ態度変えてて疲れねえか。
Hi everyone, I watch the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor.
あありがとうよ。
So being upset from the chore duty, the men swiftly clean the room as a team. And with that, I have to leave that there. As you can see, as you can hear, my voice is dying. Well, that being said, honestly, I don't know which route I'm going for. I'm still like choosing what I want. I'm like switching between Saido and Soji over and over. I feel like that would basically make me end up with no one, but or at least I wouldn't get a good ending from them then. But yeah, I mean like it's a game, so whatever. But thinking about it after reading all of this, I remembered why I would not be replaying this game because it's so much reading. It's like it's like a lot of chapters. So yeah. I think this is unlike the other Otome. I'm not gonna do any other seasons. It's just gonna be one season, then we move on to their second game. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll have the next episode by next week. If not, just be patient. It's coming, it's just a bit slow. I have another game planning in mind, which is similar to Hashihime, as in it's kind of dark and it's BL, but let's see. No promises yet. I still have other games that I played in my free time that I want to do. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.